Hi, I'm David Thompson. I just want to tell you a little bit about Swimming Pool Services. So Swimming Pool Services is a one-stop shop for personal resorts. Our niche is people that basically want to have one point of contact to transform their backyard into the backyard of their dreams or their personal resort. Things that make us a little bit different is we do more of projects in-house than any other people in this industry in this area. Including a very comprehensive design process, the most comprehensive in the area, all the way through finished landscaping. And we pride ourselves on making every project feel like it belongs in the backyard. It was always there. The other things that we've learned over the years, we're a 53-year-old company. My father started the company, and his mantra was make it easy for people to have a personal resort in their backyard, and they'll take care of you. If you take care of your clients, they'll take care of you. We focused on that over the years and really tried to make it the process of having the project built easy. And then we found that that was enough. We also need to make it easy to care for a pool. And so we've built teams to help on both sides of that. And we pride ourselves on a great customer experience. Chances are you might know somebody we've worked with in the past, and for the most part, I think they'll say positive things. We are currently booked through the 2020 season as far as for our construction projects, our project work, and booking into 2021. We're up into June of 2021 at this point. And also, we are seeing some things. Things are just taking longer right now with the COVID situation. Whether it's on our end, where at times we're thin with labor because we've got people that we need to sit down because maybe they've been exposed or have some symptoms, or whether it's anything from subcontractors to working with vendors. A lot of the vendors are struggling to produce product and get it out in a timely manner. So everything's just taking a little bit longer. Our construction projects are taking about 4 to 8 weeks at this point, just depending on the scope of the project, and some of the larger ones could be even longer. As we get into the project, we'll detail that more for you. So our process, if you'd like to get into the process to have us start helping you create the backyard of your dreams, we start by asking that you fill out what we call our dreams checklist, and basically that is just a general questionnaire to kind of give us a little bit of an idea of scope for the project. We also ask that you submit a digital copy of your PLATA survey, ideally not a picture if you can get away with it. If you can scan the actual survey in some way, that works better. What we do with that is we do what's called a code search, and the code search basically means we figure out the rules to do a project on your site. And we do this so that by the time we meet, we have a pretty good idea where a pool can go on the site and any obstacles we may be up against, just to save time. And so we've got, in May, we had 75 people that came through our system, and that is probably double what we would normally have in a month. In June, I haven't seen the numbers yet, but I think we beat that. And so, and that's not everybody we talk to, that's just the people that actually got into our system. And so it's kind of hairy. So we want to be as efficient with your time and our time. And so once we get that PLATA survey and have the dreams checklist, then what we can do what's called a code search. We get that done, and then we'll reach back out to you, either myself or Alan will reach back out to you, talk through things a little bit more, try to understand what you're trying to do a little bit more, ask for a little bit more detail. And if it makes sense, then we'll go forward with the next steps in the project process. And the next steps for us would be then to meet on site and take a look at your home and your existing yard, if there is one. And we're looking to understand things like site access for construction, utility runs, and then also just what do you have existing, if you have any existing patios and things like that, and how we're going to incorporate the new additions so that they feel like they belong. So projects, we are seeing prices creep upward a little bit now, and I expect to see that further. A lot of the manufacturers are not able to produce at the same rate they were with the COVID protocols, and so something's got to give. I foresee price increases as the season goes on. But our starting budget right now would be probably right around $100,000 for a pretty simple completed project. Simple meaning concrete paving, aluminum coping on a vinyl liner pool, and with the average amount of options, but clean utility runs, clean access, and things like that. And then we go up from there. Our average project is probably about $150,000 at this point. And we see some that are much more than that, depending on how elaborate and what we all need to do for the client. Some of the things that I guess can add into that cost structure and escalate that budget. One is materials, and so when we start thinking of different paving materials as opposed to concrete, if we look at pavers or stone or decorative concrete, any of that type of stuff, you're going to escalate the budget, and it just depends on what the material is as far as how much if we have. Other things, common adds would be automatic covers, and those are going to raise the cost of the budget somewhere typically from between $15,000 and $20,000, again, depending on what we're doing, how we're doing it with the materials, the lid over the top of it, the size of the pool, all that enters into that. If we're building a diving pool, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. We have the cost of the diving equipment. The pool has to be deeper. It's also typically got to be larger. Our average size pool is probably around a little over 500 square feet. But when we start doing diving pools, those are going to be up 650 and greater. Another common add would be a sun shelf or a sun deck or a tanning ledge, or there's all kinds of different names for it. Very popular today. They're awesome, but they are going to escalate the cost a little bit. I've had people ask me why, when the water's only 4 or 6 inches deep in those areas, that they raise the cost, and the answer is that when we're building those, because of the freezing climate we have, we actually have to they're actually harder to build than the areas of the shallow end of the pool, because we have to excavate that area out, build the walls down below frost, pour our footing, and then fill that sun deck area back in and pour it in concrete to make it hold up to our wonderful winters. I hope this helps a little bit to explain some of the things that are happening today and also that go into a project. And we'd love to work with you. Just might take us a little bit. One thing I forgot to mention is that we're about 2 to 4 weeks out on meetings with clients that are interested in a project. And I apologize, there's just not enough of us to keep up right now. And so we'll get to you as soon as we can. If you go through the process, once you get to the point where your code search is completed, you get in the queue, and we'll reach out and work with you to try to see if we are a good fit to help you create the backyard of your dreams.